You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Do us a favor, like and subscribe and comment on the video. Subscribe to the podcast on whatever audio podcast you're listening to and give it a 5-star review. It costs absolutely nothing but helps keep all of this for free. So if you want more, join the Insiders program down at the subtext link down below. No trolls, a 14-day free trial, and the easiest way ever to cancel. So give that a try as well. And don't forget to check out a second listen on the network. Nearly every team, college or pro, is ready for you. Now, it wasn't just Trinidad Chambliss or Washington State or whatever. Lane Kiffin was kind of feeling himself at the press conference on Monday and had this doozy as well. Austin Simmons' ankle injury is continuing to get closer to 100%. He's not quite there yet. Lane Kiffin talking about the status of the injury. Remember, before the LSU game, Lane Kiffin said, when he's 100% healthy, he is our starting quarterback, referring to Austin Simmons. So all the Trinidad Chambliss stuff that is going on behind the scenes, that is just something to keep an eye on. Listen, I don't think that Austin Simmons is the starting quarterback this season anymore. I don't. I think 98% of Ole Miss fans don't think that Austin Simmons is the starting quarterback for Ole Miss this season right now. Just looking at what's going on, the way that Trinidad has played, what happened with Austin Simmons, all of that shapes the mindset of how this goes in. But I think you need to realize that Austin Simmons came in against the Georgia Bulldogs and had led a touchdown drive to the point where Kirby Smart probably is keenly aware of this football player and what he can do. I think with him being 100%, they can play quarterback games this week. They'll list him on the availability report as well. And then whenever you get to the Georgia game, they'll play quarterback games even more. After that, who knows how it will go. But we are at the point of the season, honestly, to where if Austin Simmons wanted to, he could kind of shut it down and get a medical red shirt. But I don't think they will do that. I've talked to David Simmons multiple times, talked to Austin multiple times. That just doesn't seem like something you would register them doing. If you looked at the pictures from the USA Today images after the LSU game, you had Austin Simmons and Trinidad Chambliss celebrating the game together. I think they're in this together for whatever you want to look at it. And Ole Miss has played 5 games this season with their 2 hardest games on the schedule coming up after this Washington State game. Remember, Ole Miss is favored by 33.5 points against the Washington State Cougars. So this game needs to be a win. It has to be a win to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. But next week and the Oklahoma game are games on the road, 90,000 seat stadiums, extremely hard to play in. Trinidad's first game in an environment like that. Now, he played on the road the last 5 minutes against the Kentucky Wildcats, but he hasn't gone into Sanford Stadium. Not with a number 4 by your name going into Sanford Stadium. Ole Miss is potentially going to be favored in that game, especially if what happens against the Auburn Tigers for the Georgia Bulldogs this weekend, that I think might happen. If that happens, Ole Miss is going to be favored in that game with a number beside your name. That place is going to be a zoo. So you don't know how Trinidad is going to react to that scenario. Now, you expect him to be just fine. He was fine when he came up in against Arkansas. He was fine when he played against LSU. The first road game, Kentucky, I know Kentucky's not Georgia, but still you saw that environment in a situation to where you had to drive the ball down the field, and Trinidad was able to do that against the Kentucky Wildcats. So I am curious to see exactly what Ole Miss will do with Austin Simmons, honestly, moving forward. And I don't mean play or not play, or red shirt or not red shirt, or transfer and all that stuff. I'm curious to see how he gets used, both on the field and off, over the next 3 weeks. Ole Miss is trying to get to the Georgia game right now. They absolutely are. They're trying to get the quarterback competition to where you at least have to prepare for Austin Simmons. And Oklahoma, you at least have to prepare for Austin Simmons. I think that is a real thing moving forward. And especially when Kirby is going to go up against Trinidad Chambliss and they're going to raise their arm up and they're going to try and bat down passes of an undersized quarterback. I get all of that. But what I'm not quite sure of is how this plays in the locker room. It might not play at all, honestly, that they just know that Lane's being Lane, just tune him out, all of that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But when you look at what's going on, it has to be Trinidad. Like I said 2 or 3 podcasts ago, the easiest decision of the week is who is going to take the first snap in the Washington State game. That's a slam dunk. That's a home run. Heck, that's an 8-run home run. You know, it is something that's not even possible. That's how easy it is. So we will see what Ole Miss does against Washington State, how they use Austin Simmons. Does he come in garbage time, or do you play the injury effect up in the game and play A.J. Maddox as the third string quarterback? Me personally, I put in A.J. Maddox so you can continue to play this injury thing. This honestly is probably one of the best gifts that you can do if you don't blow it by playing Austin in this game. So we'll see exactly how that goes and what happens next for both quarterbacks. You know, in our final segment, the quarterback conversation is just dominating right now in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss is going all nuts over a talented kid from Michigan whose dad hails from South Bend, Indiana, adding another intriguing wrinkle in the Rebels quarterback plans, saying, hey, he's from Trinidad. So Ole Miss's fan base is buying up all Trinidad and Tobago merchandise because Trinidad Chambliss, because his first name, his legit first name, it's not that he's from Michigan or South Bend, Indiana. Everybody wants this kid to be on island time. So they just do it. And it's really funny. The hype is real, but there's also a little bit of substance behind it. We'll talk about how this storyline connects the current QB buzz and why Kiffin's quarterback room might be the deepest it's ever been. Seriously. We'll look at how this all plays out for Ole Miss's future and how Ole Miss fans are all on island time at the moment. So that's coming up next. Thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves in offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we're the front door of Ole Miss. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the video. It helps the show, and it is absolutely free. Your support means the world to us. In another big moment for Locked On, college football fans, Locked On and Fire TV are presenting College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson and former college star Jesse Holley, as well as Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Hotty toddy, everybody, and remember, analytics is just the old English word that means bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.